So, the value that I want to talk about today is the value of our environment. Global warming is currently a hot topic of discussion in our world today, not only because it affects us as humans, but it affects every living thing on planet Earth. We have currently seen natural disasters such as earthquakes, hurricanes, and fires that have destroyed cities due to the climate changing. The ice is also melting due to the Earth's increase in temperature, so animals are dying because they are losing their habitats. And so obviously we know that something's not quite right. And although we have taken steps to reduce climate change, such as recycling, using electric or hybrid cars, reducing our water usage, and using energy efficient appliances in our home, is that really enough? Like, what if there was something simpler that everyone could do that not only would drastically improve the effects of global warming, but would also improve the quality of life for every living thing on the planet? And this is exactly what changing our diet to a plant based or vegan diet would do, as opposed to having a meat diet. In a UN study, they found that raising livestock produces more greenhouse gases than the emissions of the entire transportation sector. So this means that the meat and dairy industry produces more greenhouse gases than the exhausts of all cars, trucks, trains, boats, and planes combined. Not only that, the study also showed that methane gas from livestock is 86 times more destructive than carbon dioxide from vehicles. So, even though most attention for global warming is focused on pollution, in reality, the contribution that the all these emissions from transportation is really low compared uh, to that of livestock. So, animal agriculture is also one of the leading causes of rainforest destruction. It is responsible for 91% of the Brazilian and Amazon destruction. It is responsible for a lot of the water consumption, especially here in the US. 55% of our water goes to animal agriculture compared to the 5% that is used domestically. In order to create one hamburger, you would need to use 2 months worth of showers to just bring one hamburger to the table. Uh, it is the leading cause of all freshwater pollution, and it is also the leading cause of ocean dead zones and the Great Barrier Reef die-off. Animal agriculture is also responsible for consuming up to 50% of all the grains that are produced or grown. It occupies 45% of the entire Earth's ice-free land, and it is also responsible for wildlife extinction um, because of habitat destruction and wildlife culling. So in 2014, uh, 2.7 million wild animals were killed by the USDA. The majority was for livestock, so basically meaning like predators such as black bears, cougars, bobcats, um, coyote, foxes, and wolves. So if we were to switch to a plant-based diet, it would reverse or at least improve most of these negative impacts that animal agriculture is having on our environment. So in one day, switching to a vegan or a plant-based diet, we would save 1,100 gallons of water, 30 square feet of forested land, which would obviously be go back to becoming homes for the animals. 45 pounds of grain would be saved, which could go to third world countries. 20 pounds of CO2 would be saved, or at least the equivalent of that. And we would also save one animal's life per day. So, having a plant based diet would bring positive impacts not only to the environment, but to all different sectors of our global environment as well.